Our final guest today is Teresa Mabe, a financial counselor at Novant Health. Welcome to the show, Teresa. What a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't you tell us about your role at Novant Health?
I'm a financial counselor at the Brunswick Medical Center, and I work with mainly uninsured patients, but we do anything concerning billing or questions they have with insurance.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been working at the hospital?
I've been there 3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're here today to talk about a new service that I've heard about that Novant Health is offering, and it's called Financial Navigator. Tell me about what that is. What is a financial navigator?
It's a great program that Novant set up to service our, I want to say patients, but it's for anybody that might have a upcoming procedure or even thinking about a procedure. Mm-hmm. They can call this service Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. There's always somebody that will answer, and they can give them information on the pricing. Then they can take their insurance information, let them know what their costs will be for the procedure, because that's a scary process for somebody to come into for, say, an MRI and not know what their portion will be when they get there.
So let me understand, if I'm going in for surgery, like in a couple of weeks or something, and I'd like to know how much it's going to cost me out of pocket, I can call the financial navigator. Is that correct?
That's right.
And walk me through that process. What is it that the financial navigator would do first?
What you would do is call and have your insurance information in front of you. Mm-hmm. The procedure code would be good.
I would need to know the procedure?
You need to know the procedure. If you can get it, the CPT code, and you can just ask your doctor or anybody that works in the office.
I can get that information from my doctor.
Yes.
So I would call the financial navigator and I would tell them what I'm going to have, what procedure or what CPT code it is that I've gotten from the physician. Mm-hmm. And then what happens?
We can put this, we have a program and we can plug this information in along with your insurance information, and it will give back to us what the cost of the procedure would be, what we're going to bill the insurance, and then what your cost would be after insurance is paid. Mm-hmm. This is just an estimate, but we get as close as we can with the information that we have at that time.
Mm-hmm. Would the financial navigator contact my insurance company if necessary?
No.
How does that work?
That would be for our insurance verification department, which would do that, especially if it was a surgery. Mm-hmm. They would take care of that. We are just for estimates. The navigator is just to give you an idea of what you're going to be responsible for after insurance.
Well, that way it's not such a big shock.
Right.
I mean, it's, you know, after you've had the surgery and you're going home, it's kind of scary when you see what your portion's going to be.
That's
right.
So
this way you're much more prepared.
Well, and another service they offer is we give you options of payment. Mm-hmm. We have some financial plans that we can work with you on payments, or how we work to pay in-house. If you want to pay up front, we have some new programs for financing, 0% interest. So we do let you know that those are available. Mm-hmm. We can mail out an estimate letter to your home.
That was my next question. I know this is a phone procedure where we call the financial navigator. I was wondering if it's possible to get an estimate in writing.
Oh, yes. We would be glad to mail that out at that time if they would ask.
Mm-hmm. I know you said it's an estimate, but in your experience, is it pretty accurate? Is it pretty on?
It is. We always say estimate because it's an individualized service. When you come in for an X-ray, we don't know that you may have to have a retake, or maybe the doctor calls and says, oh, will you add this to it and call in another order. So we don't want to tie it down and say this is exactly what you'll owe. So we do as close as we can to an estimate. But from what I've seen, it's pretty accurate.
Well, it sounds like it's a really great tool and would be extremely beneficial to our patients. I'm wondering, what does it cost to utilize this service?
It's free.
It's free.
It's free. And there is a toll-free number, and I don't know if you've shown that yet.
Oh, that's great.
There's a toll-free number, but we also do that locally. If you are in the hospital or coming in for your procedure and you want to see a financial counselor, they can ask at registration. We are in registration. There are two of us.
That's what I was going to ask you. How would I find the financial navigator at the facility?
Right. Well, we are in the main entrance at registration. As everybody that would come in for a procedure would go through registration first. They can always ask to speak to a representative. I'm there, and also Janet Randone is another financial counselor. We're right there in registration. Always glad to help. We're a phone call away. So, you know, a lot of people had rather deal locally or deal on a one-on-one, face-to-face. We also can take payments right there. We can help with setting up payments at that time. So it's a convenient service. I think it's a really good service for our patients, even potential patients.
Right. Now, is it just for surgery, or does it, could you utilize this service for like an imaging procedure, like an MRI, a CT, something like that?
Anything, yes. Outpatient surgery. We do a lot of new mothers. We do birthing.
Oh, birth, yeah. So any of those services
Any of those.
you
Anything
could help.
we do in the hospital, we can help with the financial aspect of it. We can give an estimate.
Well, that's great information, Teresa. And for our viewers out there who are interested in using this tool, how can they get in touch with the financial navigator?
Okay, they can call Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 at 888-277-3907.
Okay.
Or they can call the hospital at 721-1000 and just ask for a financial counselor.
Awesome information. Well, thank you so much for being here today. It's been a pleasure. And I think this is a great tool, and I think that it will be very beneficial to your patients and the residents of Brunswick County.
Well, we're excited about it too.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.